right, guys, so in today's video, we're going to be spectating duos. I actually had to make another account to join in with me because I felt bad last video scrapping that dude's gameplay. But regardless, guys, look, if you're struggling with strategy or if you're struggling at trying to find a boyfriend, this video is going to be for you. Honestly, the boyfriend video is more for Call of Duty, but we'll get to that another day. I really love the fire aspect. Even in the original Firestorm, that completely sucked. Like, that was the best thing about it. But if you look at the map and you notice a lot of the layout, it's relatively flat. There aren't many places that are just littered with skyscrapers. You have a few taller buildings, but overall, this is what maps should be designed in BR. This is how maps should be designed in BRs. If you look at maps like Blackout, if you look at maps like PUBG, there are a few areas on the map that are, you know, higher tiered, but overall, it's not littered with a shit ton of buildings. And I swear I'm not gonna gripe about Warzone every second of every video, but just to compare it, because a lot of you guys are Warzone players, the reason why Warzone is a lot less strategic is because there are so many tall buildings bitches can camp on. Another thing about camping in this game too is if you're sitting in a building, enemies can just destroy the building and absolutely ruin your game. All right, so right off bat, your boy gets stunned into oblivion, and here we are just sitting still. I hope he stunned himself. I guess there's a... Where's his teammate? Is he solo too? Animal. All right, but look at this right here. You see how skittish he is, like a kitty cat? He's just like, shit, what do I do? This is not how you play. Now, let me just show you guys for a quick second on why you don't play like that, right? So in your head, you're playing slow because you don't want to be seen. But this is perfect. But here's the thing. If you guys are running around and jumping and looking and doing all this stuff, it's going to be harder for the enemy to shoot you because you have movement, because you're moving. But if you're sitting here like a little crab and you're just terrified to walk and the enemy does see you, he's gonna fuck you up. So please, guys, look, no matter how bad you are, no matter how ass you are, you're better off just moving around the map. And if you die, you die. But there's a better chance the enemy's gonna shoot at you and miss if you have movement. So I say all that to say, like when he was sitting in there, just stunned or not, enemy there or not, move. Right? If you know where he's at because of hit indicators, go outside that little building he was in and play the backside and use your gun to fight instead of just whatever this is. He actually might have stunned himself. And I say that too with these things as well. I see a lot of people will go to the redeploys to buy their teammates back. Dude, a poor Akimbo Slice. He just said, fuck it, I'm playing Warzone, and he left. Yeah, probably a good decision. But even those things, redeploys, you see a lot of people go up there and they'll just sit in a corner and hide. Same situation. Going back to the development of the map, there's a lot of high grounds. There's a lot of areas people can get elevation, get vantage on you, and just fuck you up. So if you're walking around the redeploy, and you're like looking around, you're scanning, you're like doing alley-oops and shit, you're gonna have a harder chance to be shot in the fucking head. But if you're just sitting there, just like, okay, if I don't move, nobody will notice the ping on the map. Nobody will notice the big red thing on the map, and nobody will see me. You could be further from the truth. You saw this a lot in Warzone. You see this a lot in every BR. And look, I played like that in H1Z1. I started BRs long before y'all were born. Many of y'all. And when you first start playing, you have that fear, right? You're just like, I don't want to die. I play like that in Tarkov to this day. I suck at Tarkov, but that's how I play in Tarkov. So I know it's bad. You just got to get out of that habit. Just go with your move and try your best, because the only way you're going to learn how to win a gunfight is by participating in a gunfight, by shooting at the enemy. Right? The first guy we spectated didn't fire a bullet, I don't think. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. His teammate, look at his teammate. No, there's no giddy up. Brother, both of them were at an angle where they could push together, right? Even if your first guy, the guy we're spectating, gets knocked first, his teammate should have sprinted at our location because the enemy was almost dead. But because he hesitated and played slow, he got fucked up because the enemy had time to play. Now, I say you want to play with haste. That's not a cardinal rule, right? You want to walk around, you want to move around, you want to look for enemies, you want to participate in fights, but you don't want to just full send a squad of two with two of you guys and put yourself in a bad position. But again, we'll get into that when we find that scenario. And here we are, starting over again. with nothing but an SMG, and there she is. Now, where's our teammate? Oh, yeah. He's got a sniper at least. Now, look, he needs to be laying suppressive fire while we get the snipes off. They did it, but this dude can't snipe the broadside of a fucking barn. Enemy come up our right-hand side, too. Yeah, this is GG's. Moving on to the next team in about 10 seconds. Guys, look, if you're struggling with aim and accuracy, the main thing is you want to try your best to keep your fingers moving at all times and utilizing paddles to do other actions like YYing, or not YYing, but switching your weapons, popping a reload, popping a plate while you're moving, because when you take your finger off to hit X, square, whatever, your movement will stop. That's where paddles come to play. And guys, check out aim controllers today and use code SAVAGE for a massive fucking discount, dudes. But the reason why I fuck with aim controllers is I've had all the brands. I'll get them out my storage and I'll prove it to you guys. I've had them all. They all have stick drift, they all break, they all suck. This is the one controller that I fucking love, and they have the new TMR joysticks. I don't know the science behind TMR. I don't know what it fucking stands for, to be honest with you guys, but all I know is these joysticks have some great force feedback, very responsive, and no stick drift. Use code SAVAGE to check out. Link will be in the description as well as the pinned comment. Just check it out. Build your dream one, whatever. You don't have to buy it, just build it and be like, damn, I like this bitch. I will buy it. All right, here we are with Polaris. He doesn't even know the fight's over. This dude's like, I'm here. Spectate this dude. Now, one thing I wish we could see in this game, and again, not to gripe, it's early. This game is in its infancy. It's a kill counter. I would love to see how many kills the enemies have. I would love to see it. And look, again, it's a new game. Everyone's trying to get a feel for it, so I understand playing passive. And there are certain situations you want to play passive in. I get it. But overall, you want to be maintaining movement. And as you're traversing, going to this area, notice he's not looking to the left. Oh, he's about to. He's not scanning around them. A lot of you guys will be playing this game or any BR, and you'll be going from one point to another, and you'll get clapped in the side of the face. Why? Because you're not keeping your awareness up. And it's not that exhausting. You just go like this, right? That's it. You just look. It's simple. You never know who's going to be coming up to this area here. Oh. This is live in real time. This isn't pre-recorded. This is live. Nice shots.
Enemy hit.
Nice shots. So dude, this game just hears me and it lays out the scenario right in front of us. I love it. It's perfect. But yeah, when you're going to points of interest or even just random places, look around, because you never know who you're going to catch running out in the open. You know, a lot of times you guys are running around, you're trying to go from one point to another, and you get shot and you die, and you're like, oh, fuck. You could do that to other players. You know that, right? You kill them. All right, so your boy Wally is loaded the fuck up, and he's got some decent aim and accuracy from what we saw. Decent reaction time, too. This team might be it. Oh, you also run faster with your knife out, so make sure you guys have your knife key bound. I didn't have mine bound for about a week. By the way, I'm loving multiplayer Battlefield so fucking much that I really haven't played the BR as much as I should. I've won about 11 games, maybe 10 games, maybe 12, I don't know, somewhere around that number. But I've only probably played 30. So I need to get more reps in, is what I'm saying. But the fucking multiplayer is so goddamn fun. 39 players left. We're now traversing. We haven't pulled up the map one time. What a bad tips video. We're heading to ground zero. Now look, again, the zone's going to be coming in. We see the zone slowly moving to the north, and it looks like they're going to play the edge. It looks like they're hunting, right? This is a good strategy for advanced players. For novice players, I do not recommend you guys play the edge. If you guys play the edge and you're trying to learn how to aim, you're trying to learn with the meta, do not play the edge. Don't do a fucking pinwheel motion. Don't do none of that dumbass shit if you're a newbie. It's okay to admit you're a newbie. It's fine. But you'll get fucked up by kids like this. Now, if you just want to get the reps in the fights, you don't care about winning, by all means, practice playing the edge. You'll get more fights. This is perfect. But if you're trying to just like slow play and play for the win, avoid the edge of all costs. So saying that, like, I'd be more up here if I was a newer player. A little bit more advanced players, your 2KD COD players, yeah, fuck these kids up. You're gonna catch all these guys coming out, especially this right here. I'd probably be working my way to this direction to gatekeep chemical. Bigger map. Of course, you have the POI of this as well with the customs. I know we have one in front of us here, but there's more cover, more concealment. More teams will probably be in front of us. We do have two teams fighting right now. Looks like we're gonna kind of push up on this. I like the fact that Sniper's staying back to play support. I don't see pings going out. To be fair, I don't know if you can ping, if we can see pings in the spectating view. but we know the enemies are rotating left. Again, even though the enemies are in front of us, we need to start positioning ourselves in a better spot. Playing cover, playing concealment. They're running this way. They're probably going to rotate the chemical because of the cover and concealment. Or not. They should have. All right, good use of smokes. Notice that the enemy's not shooting back at us. Not a bullet. Not a single bullet. And look, I get it. But that's why you don't play the edge as a bot. And being a bot's fine. I'm not insulting any of you that much. Don't play the edge if you guys are learning, because you didn't caught up by players like this. This is exactly, again, being laid out as I talk. I always, in Warzone and PUBG and Blackout, when I did tips and tricks, I've been doing SPR tips my whole life, feels like. But I've always said this. What I want you guys to do is take this game in strides. I want you to first learn how to win the game, right? Play it slow, get a feel for the map, get a feel for strategy, because strategy will always trump everything. And then once you kind of, there's a tank, I'd be getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, let's dip. Because once you understand how to read the map and how to, again, do what I'm talking about here, getting advantage point on the enemy, gatekeeping them from the next zone, playing the high ground, and avoiding kill boxes, things like this. Once you have an understanding of that, then I recommend, after about a month, get aggressive as fuck. Start fighting. Play the edge. I don't care, bad, good, whatever, ugly, I don't care. Get aggressive. Play the edge, hunt kills, hunt fights, because you need to get the reps of gunfighting in. You really have to understand and put yourself in situations on how to fight aggressively and defensively. When you're playing slow and playing for the win, you're understanding and you're practicing how to play defensively. When you're playing the edge like these guys and you're hunting down fights, even though we haven't been in that many, you're learning how to play aggressively. And what this does is it gives your mind the reps to understand how to gunfight in different situations. So like if you're playing defensively one game and you happen to get third partied, then fourth partied, that defensive play style from the first gunfight now turns into aggressive because you're fighting multiple teams. And if you've never been put in these situations, you're not going to ever be able to get yourself out of them. And again, I hate to reference Warzone one more time, and I love the fact that we're playing the high ground. The enemies fell off. I love this. And they got both the kills. And I hate to reference Warzone one more time. Look at this fucking dude. He got him, Demon. Wally, you animal. He hears the sniper shot from the right-hand side. He sees the tracer, so he played the left. Our teammate needs to provide a little bit more cover right now. We don't have an angle to help our teammate. Nice. Nice. I take that back. And then he just crouched walk right into our crosshair. But I hate to reference Warzone again, but I want you guys, like, if you watch streamers, I don't know why anybody would, but if you do, I say that as a former streamer, notice that, like, your top streamers, your top professional gamers, what do they always do when Warzone came out, when Blackout came out? We hot dropped. We practiced getting in fights. Okay, Polaris isn't bad, but he's not really with it. Unfortunately, Wally's down. Oh no, our carry's down. We're trying to get the high ground. Fire's on us right now. We're getting shots off. Enemy comes up behind us, and we're able to get both. Can we get the res off? Fuck! No, we cannot. Oh, that is going to be it too. We have a redeploy tower, but there is no chance in hell that we're going to get this off, especially crouch walking to it. I don't think he has any plans. We are being held right now by another player, possibly a team. Only one set of tracers though. Make a wide wrap. I don't like this area. I don't like the idea of coming over here, but it's our only chance to survive. And unfortunately we didn't. Now, we were probably going to die regardless, but running towards the enemy and running left, because that's where they were, would have got us killed. That's why I said wrap right. I wouldn't want to be over here, but in the chance of survival, it's our only play. So that was unfortunate. And again, playing the edge, even as advanced, I don't know how advanced they are, but they seem to be decent. Even as an advanced player, you're going to put yourself in a fucked up position. You're just going to. And look, there's a lot of information I want to give you guys in the first few videos. So I know it's more rambling with a few tips and tricks. I get it. I understand. But there's a lot happening now, and I really just want, I'm going to start giving you guys singular videos for, like, this is a strategy video. This is an aim and accuracy video. That will be coming. But right now, while everyone's trying to get the reps in and there's so much shit happening, we're all trying to learn it. This is going to kind of be the flow and the vibe of the videos for the next few weeks. Now look, this is the reason why I don't like over here. Remember, notice I said when we rotated, I don't like it because this is a lower ground. You don't ever want to put yourself in a position of the low ground. I don't like the fact that we did. I would want to play the higher ground. Now it may work out in our favor depending on where the next circle goes, but it's not looking like it's going to. Not to mention we run the risk of a team coming out of this compound, we get in a fight, and now we're pinched. If we rotate and play the higher ground, we could play a little bit more cover and concealment. I know it seems more dangerous, but again, what are the better chances? Coming up here, getting in a fight and securing the position, or coming down here, playing a long, slow fucking game just to die? Because if the circle does rotate, we've got to cross a street with no cover, no concealment. Fortunately, this team did push when the other two teams are fighting. Good move. Good move. 3 teams left. You hear gunfight going on. You know both teams are distracted. Maybe one of the teammates of the enemy team straggles and he's looking towards your direction. But regardless, good on this team knowing that this is a bad fucking spot. Let's get out of here. And if you're ever in that position, again, if you're ever in a very bad spot and there's only a few teams left and you know where they are and you hear them fighting and you think you're safe, instantly go with your move. Now, as far as playing inside of a building, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like this because enemies could push our building and we're vulnerable from all these windows. But if we play the backside or the corner of a building and an enemy does run out in the open towards us, we can clap his cheeks. But if we're sitting inside, the chance of us seeing him is very, very small. Not to mention, you hear the tracers, you hear the gunfights. Now it's only 2 teams. I kind of want to push closer to the enemies to try to third party and take advantage of it. But instead, we're sitting still. I don't know how I feel about this at all. You fly. Hit the up button. No, don't look up. You hit the up button. Hey, you've got no one to be mad at but yourself, African Schmeat. All right. How do you not know how to fly a fucking drone, homie? Great idea. Terrible execution, but great idea. Recon drones, that's what you want to do. You want to use it to find out where the enemies are. See, look, we're assuming they're in there, and they might be. But again, they could rotate wide left, wide right, and we're only focused on that building. Sensor dart back here is fucking questionable. Lay the sensor dart more towards where if you think they're up here, step up, go to this building, plant it, and watch them come into it. Planting it behind you when you know the enemies aren't behind you is... Oh shit, I was wrong. The enemy rotated behind us. The sensor dart almost saved our life. I take it back. Holy fuck, what a rotation. I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. This game's basically been perfectly predicted. I didn't see the enemy team rotating all the way around. That's crazy. And you know they were up here because you heard their gunfights. Wild. That's a terrible rotation. I mean, the enemies put themselves on the low ground. That was a terrible rotation on their part. It almost worked out. See him on the right, yeah. I still think the sensor dart was fucking stupid, but we got lucky if the enemy team did something stupid too. Now, we don't know whether the player is. It could be a solo. We don't know. Oh, shit. Look, if you're in a position where your teammate's repairing, healing, plating, whatever, please don't fight it out. All right, with the skin of our dick, GG's. Now, again, the enemy did a wide rotate. I kind of planned for that a little bit, but him going all the way, that was psychotic. Capitalizing on my last point, guys, whenever you have a teammate down, you're more than welcome to suppress fire and engage if you think you win the fight. But at the end of the day, you want to try to fight together. So if you need to grab cover, if you think you're gonna die, wait for your teammate to get in a position where he can help you out. AKA plate it up, AKA you get the res off, and then continue the fight. And don't put yourself in a stupid position trying to res, but like the guy that was in the container at the end of the video, he wasn't gonna win that fight. He had no cover or concealment. He was in the container. Play the outside. People always want to play inside walls and inside buildings and inside storage containers because they think they're safe. But if you're fighting head on with an enemy and your door's wide open, you're fucked. Play the backside, play the corner, right? So I stand up. I talk better when I stand up. I like to use my hands, but I'm gonna try to show you guys this, right? I used to do this in Call of Duty, so hopefully it'll work. So like, if you're in a fight, lower, bitch. If you're in a fight and the enemy's in front of you, but you're playing the corner of a container, all he can see is this. That's it. Or even if you're out here, you can still bounce back if you get shot. But if you have no cover and he's shooting at you, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. You're just gonna go side to side and run into a wall, And it's like, who do you think that's really gonna help? The enemy. I know, it's crazy. I don't know why people do it, it's nuts. All right, but here we are, starting with the new team, Nex and Galb, both. All right, what did they do wrong? First off, weren't playing together. Secondly, your boy was crouch walking with a knife out. And thirdly, he had the reaction time of a snail. What's worse than a snail? I don't even know. He had the reaction time of a fetus. It was just, that was, can we get a replay of this? He had his knife out. The enemy runs in front of us, runs at us, and we're still looking forward for a few seconds before he reacts and swings at the enemy when the enemy's nowhere near us. He had backed up out of range of our knife. I don't know. Now, if you play like that, how do you get out of that mindset? God, my nose itches. How do you get out of that mindset? If you guys right now watching do play like this, or like your boy, how do you stop? Well, that's where you have to get in fights. So earlier this video, I said there's two things I want you guys to do. I want you guys to learn how to play slow and passive for the win. And then I want you guys to learn how to play aggressive and for fights. Now, if you guys are struggling with gunfights and your reaction time, you really have to practice fighting. You just have to. You don't own Battlefield, the game. I'm not going to tell you guys, go play Battlefield, the game. But what you can do is try your best in the firing range, or even with other games, on getting in fights aggressively. Like, let's just take, for instance, the firing range. So when you're in the firing range and you're looking, you see all the targets, you want your best, you want to try your best to snap to each one of them, right? Reload, snap. What this does is it helps your eye-hand coordination, and in turn will teach you how to be a little bit more snappier, especially with your reaction timing. Now, nothing will ever be a better teacher than playing against other players and practicing that reaction time. Nothing will ever outdo that. So if you guys can get Battlefield, I highly recommend it. One, because the multiplayer is a fucking blast. You guys are tripping if you think otherwise. And two, it'll be the best way for you guys to learn. Just straight up. I should probably make it like I should see if I can make a training course. And like an aim training course in BF6 portal. I'll look into that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. But again, not even learning from our mistakes. And I get it. I get it. We're doing the drive data. We don't have to stick together. If you guys are confident enough and you guys have the ability, by all means, split off and do that. They're not that far apart. But we saw your boys' reaction time. I don't have the confidence you guys do. I would want to be looting together and getting these things together just because, again, they're not as skilled with their gunplay as maybe many of you right now watching are. And it's like, when I watch stuff like this, by all means, like, missions are important. You want to do them, but I see the same thing that I used to see in Warzone when we were teaching in the early days. People would just focus on doing the missions. And then by the time they got in a gunfight towards the end of the game, their first gunfight of the game, they would just die. So they would spend 15, 20 minutes doing objectives, which is fine if that's what you want. And then the first gunfight they get into, they die. Now, that's not how you want to play. You're basically wasting time. You don't want to just go in here, do all the missions and die. Go in here, do all the missions and die, and just rinse and repeat that for years. And we see a lot of people doing that in every single BR I've ever played. And you guys got to get out of that habit. People landing on us right now, and we don't even look around. Like, Galb doesn't even look around. This is just simply a situation where, thank God, the enemy team was way more trash than we were. And I'm not trying to talk shit, but like, damn. When we heard the parachutes, instead of Galb looking around to find out where they're at and get information, get intel, he instantly goes to the high ground, which isn't a bad choice. And before scanning the roof, looks down and goes for a thirst. And these pistols aren't a joke. I will fuck some bitches up with these pistols. So he's very lucky that the enemy that landed up here with us didn't have the skill to take us out. I want you guys to notice too, whenever he shot that first shot, he had lined it up on the head, but the longer that crosshair sat there, and it might not feel like a long time to you guys, but as a sniper, that crosshair was on that dude's body for a long time. It was on his head for like 30 seconds, it felt like, and then at the very end, he moved it to the chest and shot. Again, you want to go for headshots, but the moment that crosshair hits that fucking head, hit that trigger. Hit that trigger. If you have loose sensitivity, tiniest micro correction will fucking move that bitch and you'll miss. If your pulse goes off, your heartbeat just bump bump, you now miss. So the moment that crosshair, you just fucking hit that bitch. Again, that's just eye-hand coordination. Again, how do you practice that? Getting in reps. Doesn't matter what game it is. Eye-hand coordination you develop in any game. So if you don't own Battlefield, play Call of Duty, play fucking Fortnite, play whatever game you have and try your best just to get in as many fucking fights as possible so that you can have that. But again, not learning from our lessons. Look how split up we are. Last game, I gave props to the sniper getting a vantage point to watch his teammates back. Notice we've got a fucking building with cement walls, 4 of them, many more, between us and our teammates. We can't help him out at all. So let's go see what he's into. Sounds like the world's collapsing on him. So I'm not against it, but look, when a lot of these players, a lot of people don't watch YouTube, a lot of people don't watch streamers, so I get it. But a lot of these dudes will see, like, let's just pretend, for example, they watch me play and they notice that I'm playing the high ground, I'm watching my teammates. All they see is the fact that I'm sitting back on the high ground, and that's it. They don't notice that I'm keeping an angle on my teammates. I want to see where the enemies are as well. I'm keeping an angle on that. I want to see what's in front of me. Oh, his teammate died. Bro. And third party. That's unfortunate. So again, laid out right in front of us, our teammate, we were split off. As I was bitching about how split off they were and telling you guys not to be split off, what happened? Your sniper dude got killed because he's way far behind his teammate. And yeah, your boy was left to solo trio basically, and this team comes in to clean it up. Good shit. Good shit. And look, he's on the high ground, he's got elevation, but he's got his teammates back. I do like how people are using these things to kind of get intel with the thermal. I do like that. I probably should say that too. There's guys in front of us. There's also guys to the right. You saw the thermal on the right behind the building rooftop, right to our right. You saw them running into the right-hand side. But I probably should mention that, guys. If you've got one of these mortars or whatever the fuck they're called, if you got one of them, use those goggles as a thermal heat thing. Use the heat signatures to find out where enemies are. You can get really aggressive with this. You'll see this a lot more and more the more players pick it up. All right, there's the 2 teams fighting right now. We could go in there in third party, and again, it just depends on how you want to play. Do you want to play aggressive and practice your gunfights and get kills, or do you want to play for the win and play slower? We've got good position in the circle. There's really no reason for us to have to move. I think it's going to finish somewhere around this area, obviously. So we can just hold this. Now, the problem with holding buildings like this, as massive as it is enemies can come up from any way. So I don't like being up here. And I like the fact that we're actually rotating away and hopefully going to get our weapons. But the game's been out for almost a week now. How you guys like it? How are you guys liking it? Is it something you guys can see yourself lifing? Playing every day, all day? I know I see a lot of Call of Duty streamers bitching and crying, and it makes me happy. This game is more casual. It's a more casual BR, and I think that's what a lot of you guys, a lot of players in general needed. I was a competitive player, but dude, COD was so fucking sweaty. It just kind of killed the game for me. And I like sweating. I'm not all day, every day. Some days I just want to get drunk and fucking hang out with the homies, you know? So I feel like this is a perfect game for all the casual players. And I think, if I had to guess, 90% of gamers out there are casual. All right, but look, we're at this point. We need to get our weapons and get the fuck out of here. We've been here for way too long, 60 seconds at least, and that's way too long because, again, people are going to be coming over here. Now, if you want to bait it, you want to kill some bitches, you want to get in fights, for sure. Again, I like what we're using. I do think we're using it a little too much. You don't want to rely on thermals I said this back in Warzone 1 when people were using the fuck out of thermal scopes and snipers. Like, you don't want to really rely on thermals because you have to train your eyes to spot movement. Because if for some reason they nerf this, or like it gets a battery and you can't just spam it, you're going to be in a real fuck position. But regardless, good job using it right now to spot enemies on top of the hill. Now they've got the vantage point. I don't really know if I like this fight. I'd want to rotate more and more. We'd have to rotate to the right-hand side. We've kind of put ourselves in a very unfortunate position, and you want to rotate a lot faster than this. Because it's taken us so long to rotate, where do you think the enemies are? Enemies could be trying to out-rotate us. Trying to position themselves between us and the next zone to kill us. We'll see what happens. That's what I'd be doing. Nope, they're sitting fucking still. And this is also a stupid fight to take, in general. It's a 1v2. Our teammate's already rotated. So he's got an option to get killed because he gets into another fight. But regardless, all we're doing is wasting plates. Fuck the enemy's plates. We're wasting our plates. Why? Because even if we get the knock, he's going to get rezzed. Which, yeah, it gives you time to rotate, but your teammate's clearly rotated safely. Just go. You don't want to sit there and waste plates because now look at us. We're missing half a plate. And again, still in a very bad position. What the fuck are we doing? He wants both his weapons. Okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think this position's stupid, but I mean, I understand the need for it, the want for it. Again, the enemies have us held. Rotate before the enemies rotate to us. The enemies get here before we get here. We're now forced to rotate even wider and run to another team. So just push the fuck up. And again, as far as the enemy team's concerned, let's talk about their strategy. Great job playing the edge, looking for people going for that loadout, but terrible job on them trying to out-rotate us. If you're in a position where you're on the high ground, you're looking at the enemies, they have their backs against the edge of the circle, and you see them rotating left, and it's towards your compound, which this was, rotate with them. Don't rotate to them. Rotate wide and get that angle. Prevent us from getting safe. Hey, this dude's thermaled out. Okay, I'm not a fan of this. Again, you do not want to rely on thermals. I had a feeling because he was spamming that thing a lot, which again, it's not a bad play, but I had a feeling he was relying on that. And you see this in every first-person shooter. People will enemies will run right in front of them or on the edge of the screen, and they won't even see it. They'll just, oh, I can't find enemies. It's because you're not training your eyes to look for that movement, bro. I don't like how pixelated this looks. Gross. Why? That threw off my aim, just how pixelated it looks. Again, we're scanning out in the middle of the street. We have no cover. Do not do this. Remember the beginning of this video when they were walking real slowly and I said you're better off sprinting and kind of scanning around because if you move slowly, you're gonna get shot in the head a lot easier. It's easier for enemies to hit a sitting still target than it is for them to hit a moving target. Way easier. So if you're scanning around, at least get next to a rock or a tree. Don't do it in the middle of an open fucking street, bro. That's crazy. He really, really wants to fight someone over there. Also, too, we're doing all this scanning, but if he finds an enemy, you really think he's gonna go engage them? Fuck no. As he engages. Lol. But I don't like this. We're fighting an enemy team. Look where we're at. We've got nothing. If we get shot from these guys, if these guys push us, we're fucked. But my biggest concern is what's behind us. There are 7 teams left. We know 2 teams are fighting in this compound, that's for sure. You saw them, you saw the tracers. But what if people start coming up behind us? We have no cover. And we've now pissed off a team to our left-hand side. So if a team to our right starts shooting at us, now we're just getting rained on. Again, if I was this team, I'd be more worried about either A, pushing the building, or B, gatekeeping. I do not like the fact that we're kind of sitting here. We haven't even looked to see what's over here. You know people are going to be pushing out. I'll be shocked. I bet there's a team over here. I'll be fucking so shocked if there's not. Finally, here we are looking. I like it. I still don't believe it. Just let it sink in. Give it a second. Someone's going to come up, start clapping us. Oh, team there or not. Clear that shit. That was a good snipe. snappy, responsive. It was a good snipe. Yeah, you saw that movement. Now look, this is one of those situations where you could make a play for that rooftop. It wouldn't be a terrible idea. We've already controlled this hill. Unless someone rotates up here after we get the roof, I think the roof would be a great play. Obviously, you have things like mortars and stuff like that that'll fuck that whole situation right up, but it's not a bad idea. Our thing is, though, let's talk about the enemy team we're sniping at, right? So if you're this team in here, you know we're on the hill. Well, look at the circle. All you would have to do is move up, play this door, and you could easily get in a fight with us and possibly win. Or you can even push up and play these vehicles or play that wall. But instead, they hide. Notice how we ran right by the door. They hide, and they don't try to get us as we rotate towards them. Stop hiding. Stop playing slow. Stop sitting still. I mean, that's the moral of this video, guys. You don't have to face push every enemy and just sprint at them. But guys, stop playing scared. It's going to get you killed more times than none. We've seen it every fucking fight this game. Every crouch walker, every door dweller, every corner dweller. Like, it's a common rule in every FPS ever. All right, good job. Circle's rotating out. Our teammate's still over there. Now, we are separated. We talk about separation, but we're at a point now where we're playing the high ground, the enemy's playing a wall, and we can essentially gatekeep anybody and help our teammate out. We do have the zip behind us to the left an enemy could take right here, so just keep watching it, which he is. Good job. And this is one of those moments you can get aggressive, but I would not. Do not get aggressive. Play your life, play the situation. I still think the team's under us. There he is. Game's getting real laggy. It's real unfortunate. Oh, this is nice crack. These mortars are terrifying, bro. Oh, that's sick. Didn't expect him to have that. Dude walked right into it. He laid down thermite. Dude walked right into it. All right, where's our teammate at? Let's see how this plays out. Oh, it's a 1v2. Good play, good play, good play. The enemy should be pushing up on this. He didn't have to push us. Push the closer wall. Let's see what he does. We need to get up and play. Don't let him get the res off. Our teammate could be giving call-outs, though. Our teammate's right behind him, so he could be calling out the enemies playing left. Oh, fuck. Unfortunate. So our own airstrike blows a hole in the roof, which I'm not mad at, but we did happen to fall under it. And falling through that hole really put our team in a shit position. We should have won that game. That team should have won. They had the perfect setup. Us on the rooftop, your boy playing the wall. The enemies under us would have to eventually come out. But, playing that hole really fucked that team up, man. So it is what it is. But thanks for watching. Drop a like on the video.